Governor, Governor, this is William Hodge. He is an attorney here in South Carolina. He says he's leaning toward Rubio, but he does remain undecided. William?
Governor Kasich, being a Southern Baptist and an attorney here in South Carolina.
Is that consistent?
Well, that's what my question is getting to. It is sometimes difficult to differentiate between my moral convictions and the letter of the law and what I'm required to do. If you were given the opportunity as president to nominate someone for the Supreme Court, which I believe the next president will have the opportunity to do so, would you nominate someone who will rule and vote based on their moral convictions, or would you be willing to put someone on the court who takes legal reasoning and makes decisions even if it doesn't coincide with their personal beliefs?
Well, look, I mean, I've appointed well over 100 judges in Ohio. In fact, even appointed a judge to the Ohio Supreme Court who happens to be a woman, has done a fantastic job. What we try to look for is we want you to be a conservative. We don't want you to make law. We want you to interpret the law. That's what it means to be a conservative judge. And secondly, you've got to be beyond reproach and good character. I mean, you know, everybody in their life at some point did something dumb, right? I mean, we know that. But overall, we want to look at how your temperament. We want to look at your attitude of fairness. And at the end of the day, it's your approach to whether you make law or whether you interpret the law as it relates to the Constitution. In terms of the moral, you know, how do you, people say, you know, well, how do you decide things? Well, if I got to decide something, I'm not turning to the Scripture to figure it out. But also, you know, your faith can also influence sort of some of the ways you look at things. For example, with the women who are, you know, who have been human trafficked, or the issue of mental illness, or of course it influences your ability to think about what can we do to lift them. But at the end, when you're in public office, you're not really there to be a preacher. You are there to be a public official, and that's the way it ought to be if you're on the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay?
Thanks for your question.